If things don't work out with him, you're next in line, she said like it was a compliment. I removed myself from the wait list that night. She went through 5 guys in 1 month. Now there's no one left, and she's begging me to give her another chance. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Hey Reddit, buckle up because this one's a doozy. I'm 29, work as a project manager in a mid-sized city, and for the past 2.5 years, I thought I had a solid thing going with my girlfriend, Sarah. We met through mutual friends at a casual barbecue. Nothing dramatic, just easy conversation that turned into dates, then moving in together after a year. I was all in from the start. Loyal doesn't even cover it. I was the guy who showed up every time. Looking back, I see the red flags now, but at the time, I chalked them up to her free spirit personality. Sarah's 27, works in marketing, and she's always been the type who thrives on excitement, spontaneous road trips, late-night parties, that kind of thing. Me? I'm more steady. I like planning ahead, building something real. But I made it work for her. When her dad got sick last year, I took time off work to drive her to appointments, handled the bills so she wouldn't stress. I even dipped into my savings to help her pay off some credit card debt from a failed side hustle she had going. You're my rock, she'd say, and I'd believe it. But over time, things shifted. She'd start comparing me to other guys, subtly at first. Like, we'd be watching a movie, and she'd point out how the lead actor was so adventurous, then glance at me with this half-smile. Or on social media, she'd like posts from these influencer types, guys with flashy cars and travel pics. I brushed it off. Everyone scrolls mindlessly, right? Then came the emotional distance. She'd cancel our plans last minute for girls' nights that stretched into the early hours. Texts would go unanswered for hours, and when I'd ask, it'd be, "Oh, just busy with work stuff." I felt like I was fading into the background, but I didn't push. I figured relationships have ebbs and flows. Flashback to about 8 months ago, it was a rough week for her at work. Some project fell through, and she was venting nonstop. I surprised her with her favorite takeout and a quiet night in, thinking it'd help. We were on the couch, her head on my shoulder, when her phone buzzed. She snatched it up quick, but I caught a glimpse, a message from Jake, a guy from her gym. Something flirty, with emojis. I didn't say anything right away. I wanted to trust her. But that night, as we talked, she opened up more than usual. "You're always there for me, you know? Reliable." It sounded sweet, but there was this undertone, like it wasn't enough. A few weeks later, the cracks widened. She started mentioning Jake more, how he was training for a marathon, how he dragged her on these epic hikes. I'd nod, but inside it stung. I sacrificed a lot for us. Turned down a job transfer that could have meant more money, but less time together. Skipped guys' trips to be home with her. And here she was, eyes lighting up for someone else's stories. One evening, after she'd blown off our dinner reservation for a quick coffee with him, I finally asked if something was up. She laughed it off. "You're being paranoid. Jake's just a friend. But hey, he's got this energy, you know? Makes me feel alive." That hit like a gut punch. I was the one keeping things stable, but apparently, that made me boring. It all built to that one night. We'd planned a low-key date, nothing fancy, just a walk in the park and ice cream, like old times. But she showed up late, distracted, checking her phone every 2 minutes. We sat on a bench, and that's when she dropped it, casually, like she was discussing the weather. So, Jake asked me out properly. Like, on a real date. I think I'm gonna go for it. I stared at her, waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. She kept talking, twisting the knife. "Don't get me wrong, you're great. But I need to see what's out there. If things don't work out with him, you're next in line." She said it with a wink, like it was a compliment. Like I should be flattered to be her safety net. I sat there, the world tilting a bit. All those sacrifices, the loyalty. I'd given her everything. And this was how she saw me? A backup option? It was outrageous, the way she phrased it so smugly, as if I owed her my patience while she shopped around. But I didn't yell or beg. I just nodded, stood up, and said, "Okay." Her smile faltered a little, like she expected more drama. That was the start of it all unraveling. For her, anyway. The breakup conversation happened right there in the park, under those string lights they string up in summer. It was surreal. Kids laughing nearby, couples holding hands, and here we were, dismantling 2 years like it was nothing. Sarah leaned back on the bench, twirling her hair, all casual confidence. I could see the dismissiveness in her eyes, like she'd already mentally checked out. So, yeah, she continued, as if I hadn't just gone silent. Jake's got this vibe, you know? He's spontaneous, takes risks. Last week, he convinced me to try rock climbing. Can you imagine? It was terrifying but exhilarating. She laughed, expecting me to join in. I didn't. Look, we've been comfortable, but comfort isn't everything. I need passion, adventure. You've been safe, predictable, and that's fine, but right now I want more. I felt the anger bubbling, but I kept it locked down. More than what? I asked, my voice even. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of an outburst. She sighed, like I was being difficult. More than movie nights and grocery runs. Jake talks about traveling to Europe on a whim, starting a business. You're content with the 9-to-5 grind. I love that about you, but it's holding me back. I deserve to explore, to feel that spark again. Her words twisted like a knife. Holding her back? I'd supported her through everything, from job hops to that art class she quit after 2 weeks. But now I was the anchor? And what about us? I pressed, though I already knew the answer. 2 years, Sarah. I thought we were building something. She shrugged, that smug smile creeping back. We were. But people change. If it crashes and burns with Jake, we can always revisit this. You're like my safety net, reliable, always there. That's a good thing. Most girls would kill for a guy like you as a backup. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Her logic was so warped, treating me like an option on a menu, expecting me to wait in line while she test drove someone else. It was cruel, the way she justified it, like her happiness trumped everything. Backup, I echoed, keeping my tone flat. That's what I am to you. Don't make it sound bad, she snapped, her dismissiveness turning defensive. I'm being honest. Better than stringing you along, right? If Jake's not the one, I'll come back. We could pick up where we left off, friends with benefits, or whatever. No hard feelings. She said it so entitled, like I should thank her for the demotion. The hypocrisy burned. She'd freak if I ever suggested something like that. I stood up, the park blurring a little. No hard feelings. I repeated, more to myself. She looked surprised, like she expected tears or arguments. Good luck with Jake. And that was it. I walked away, leaving her on the bench, her mouth half open. No confrontation, no pleas. Just detachment. It was the most dignified thing I could do in that moment, even as the unfairness clawed at me inside. Why fight for someone who saw me as plan B? That night, back at our apartment, she didn't come home until late. I could hear her giggling on the phone in the other room, probably to Jake. It confirmed everything. The betrayal felt so undeserved. I'd been committed, given up opportunities for her. And this was the thanks? But I didn't dwell. I started packing quietly, focusing on the logistics. By morning, I'd be gone from her wait list for good. Walking away from that park bench, I felt a mix of numbness and clarity. It hurt. God, it hurt, like a punch to the soul. All those moments I'd sacrificed flashed through my mind. Skipping a weekend getaway with friends because she needed space, covering her share of rent when her job was shaky, even listening to her vent about work for hours while my own stress piled up. And for what? To be told I was next in line? The confusion lingered for days. Why wasn't loyalty enough? Was I really that forgettable? But I didn't beg or lash out. That wasn't me. Instead, I channeled it into action, calm, methodical. That night, while she was out, probably with Jake, I packed my essentials into a couple of duffel bags. Clothes, laptop, a few books. The apartment was mostly in her name anyway. I'd been the one paying most bills, but I wasn't about to fight over that. I left a note on the counter. Rent's paid through the month. Take care. No drama, no accusations. Just facts. By morning, I was at a buddy's place crashing on his couch. He didn't pry much, just handed me a beer and said, "Her loss, man." I blocked her number, socials, everything. Disappeared from her life like a ghost. It wasn't revenge, it was self-preservation. The silence hit hard at first. I'd wake up wondering if I'd overreacted, replaying her words in my head. Safety net. Next in line. It was infuriating, the way she'd said it so casually, like I should be grateful. But sitting with that unfairness, alone in the quiet, I started to see it for what it was. Her problem, not mine. I gave myself time to breathe. No rebound dates. No venting on social media. Instead, I focused on me. Hit the gym harder, something I'd slacked on while prioritizing her schedule. Picked up hiking on weekends. Ironically, the adventure she craved but never did with me. At work, I threw myself into projects, even volunteered for that out-of-town assignment I'd passed on before. It paid off, got a raise, started feeling capable again. The confusion faded into resolve. Why chase someone who treated me like an afterthought? I deserved better than being anyone's backup. Weeks turned into a month, and the emotional fog lifted. I'd sit with the pain, acknowledge it, then let it go. A quiet dignity settled in. No need for outbursts when actions spoke louder. I rented a small place downtown, nothing fancy, but mine. Furnished it simply, started cooking meals I'd always wanted to try. Friends noticed the change. "You seem lighter," one said. And I was. The betrayal still stung in quiet moments, but it fueled growth, not bitterness. I wasn't waiting for karma or closure. I detached, walked away, and built my own path. Little did I know, her world was about to implode without me holding it together. That's when karma started creeping in, slow at first, then like a freight train. I didn't seek it out. Hell, I wasn't even checking up on her. But in a city this size, word gets around, especially with mutual friends. At first, it was just snippets from group chats I'd muted but not left. Heard Sarah and Jake are official now. Fine, whatever. I kept building my life. Landed that promotion, started a side gig consulting on projects, even joined a hiking group where I met people who valued reliability without calling it boring. About a month after I left, the first cracks showed. A friend mentioned offhand that Jake wasn't who he seemed. Turns out, he was still seeing his ex on the side. Sarah found out when the ex showed up at their epic weekend getaway. Screaming match ensued. Jake ghosted her after that, blocked her everywhere. She posted vague stories online about learning from toxic people, but our mutuals saw through it. Then she jumped to guy number 2, some barista she met at a coffee shop, all tattoos and poetry. Lasted a week before he bailed, saying she was too intense. Number 3 was a co-worker, flirty office type, who used her for a promotion hookup, then ignored her at work. That one cost her professionally. Rumors spread, and her boss put her on probation for distracting drama. By the end of that month, she'd burned through 5 guys total. Number 4 was an old flame from college, who turned out to be married. His wife found out, blasted Sarah on social media, and suddenly her friend circle shrank. Mutuals started distancing themselves. One told me, "She's spiraling, man." Posting desperate thirst traps, calling people at 2 a.m. The 5th was a random app date who straight up scammed her out of a few $100 for concert tickets that never materialized. She was left broke, isolated, her reputation in tatters. Job performance tanked. She got demoted, couldn't afford the apartment alone, had to move back with her parents. It was ironic, watching from afar how her quest for excitement left her more unstable than ever. All those options she chased, they discarded her just like she'd discarded me. I didn't gloat. It just confirmed I'd dodged a bullet. But damn, it felt earned, seeing her unravel from her own choices. The unfairness of it all had lingered with me those first weeks. Why did she get to treat me like that and skip off? But as her downfall played out, I sat with it less. My days were full. New apartment overlooking the park, weekend hikes turning into real adventures, even started dating casually, no rush. The silence I'd chosen wasn't empty anymore. It was peaceful. Karma didn't fix the hurt, but it balanced the scales a bit, letting me close that chapter without regrets. It started small, about 2 months after the park bench. I'd unblocked her temporarily to handle some shared mail that got forwarded. Mistake, maybe, but I wanted closure on logistics. First text came in like nothing happened. "Hey, stranger. Miss our movie nights?" Smiling face with smiling eyes, I didn't respond. A day later, "Come on, don't be like that. We were good together." Ignored. Then the calls began, voicemails at first, sweet and manipulative. I know I messed up, but Jake was a phase. "You're the real deal. Let's grab coffee." I stayed silent, but she ramped up. Showed up at my old work one day. Thank God I'd switched offices. A coworker texted me, "Your ex is here looking for you. Seems upset." I told them to say I didn't work there anymore. That's when her family got involved. Her sister, Lisa, always rude, the type who mocked my boring job at family dinners, called from a blocked number. You think you're too good now? Sarah's hurting because of you. Man up and talk to her. I hung up mid-sentence. Her mom emailed, family sticks together. Give her another chance. She's learned her lesson. Toxic as hell, like they forgot how she'd humiliated me. The attempts got more desperate. A week later, she texted a wall of apologies. I was stupid. Those guys were nothing compared to you. Please, let's meet. I need you. When that got no reply, the tone shifted. Angry voicemails now. How can you just ghost me? After everything? You're being childish. Hypocrisy at its finest. She'd done the same to me emotionally for months. Then she showed up at my new place. Must have gotten the address from a mutual. I opened the door to her standing there, makeup smudged, looking frantic. Please, she said, voice cracking as she pushed past the threshold before I could stop her. Just hear me out. Those 5 guys. They were disasters. Jake cheated. The barista ghosted. The coworker used me. My ex's wife went crazy. And that last one stole from me. I'm broke, alone. My job's hanging by a thread. I see now you were the stable one. We can fix this. I stood there, arms crossed, feeling nothing but detachment. Sarah, you made your choices. She paced the living room, gesturing wildly. But I didn't know. I thought I needed excitement, but it was all fake. You're real. Remember how you'd always be there? I need that now. Give me another chance. I'll change. No more options, just us. Her words echoed her old twisted logic, now flipped in desperation. You said I was next in line, I reminded her calmly. I removed myself from that. Tears streamed down her face. That was a mistake. I was smug, entitled, I admit it. But everyone's abandoning me. Friends won't answer. Family says I brought it on myself. Please, don't be like them. When pleading didn't work, the anger boiled over. Fine, be heartless. You think you're better off? Enjoy your lonely life while I suffer. You owe me for all those years. I shook my head. I don't owe you anything. Escorted her out, locked the door. The calls kept coming. Dozens, escalating to rants about how I'd ruined her. Her sister showed up once more, banging on the door. You're a jerk for ignoring her. She deserves better. I called building security. It was exhausting, but I held firm. No sympathy, no engagement. Her power over me was gone. This was just noise now. The final nail came at our mutual friend Tom's wedding, for months later. I debated going. Knew she might be there, but I wasn't hiding anymore. Walked in with my date, Anna, someone I'd met through hiking. She's kind, adventurous in a grounded way, and we'd been seeing each other steadily. The venue was this elegant garden setup, string lights everywhere, ironic echo of that park bench. I was in a sharp suit, feeling good, new job title, side gig thriving, even planning a solo trip abroad. Sarah spotted me during cocktails. She looked rough, hair unkempt, dress ill-fitting, alone at a table. Mutuals had whispered she'd crashed and burned further, lost the job completely, living with parents, no social life left. She approached hesitantly, glass in hand. Hey, didn't expect to see you here. I nodded politely, introducing Anna. Good to see you, Sarah. Kept it professional, like closing a deal. She glanced at Anna, jealousy flashing. Can we talk? Alone. Anna squeezed my hand and stepped away gracefully. Sarah leaned in, voice low and desperate. Look, I know I've been blowing up your phone, but seeing you now, I get it. I threw away something real. Those guys destroyed me, one after another. I'm in therapy, trying to fix myself. Please, one more chance. I'll be the partner you deserved. Her hypocrisy hung in the air. She'd never valued me until her options vanished. I mirrored it back calmly. You said I was your backup, that you needed more than safe. Well, I found more, without waiting in line. She winced. I was wrong. Cruel. But we've got history. Don't end it like this. I looked around. The happy couples, the life I'd built. History's just that, Sarah. I've moved on. Built a career I love. Met someone who sees me as first choice. You're not part of this anymore. It's irrelevant. Tears welled up. Irrelevant. After everything. Facts are facts, I said firmly, realist mode kicking in. You chose excitement over loyalty. Now I'm choosing peace over chaos. No sympathy, no sorry it didn't work out. Just truth. She stepped back, deflated. So that's it. You're done. Completely. I walked away, rejoining Anna. Sarah left early, alone. Later, text stopped. No more pleas, no anger. She'd shown her true colors one last time, but I was evolved, free. The betrayal that once infuriated me, now a distant lesson. I'd upgraded, thrived, while she faded. Satisfying? Absolutely. But mostly, it felt complete. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.